In this video, I want to continue some inductive Akkadian grammar, holding each lesson to around 10 minutes. And we're on lesson 7. We've done 6 lessons, and we are at line 70 on the Epilogue of the Akkadian grammar. I'd like to work line 70 to 74, or line 70 to 74 to start with. So far, we have seen where Hammurabi is talking about how his shadow is spread over the city, and in his bosom the peoples of the land of Sumer have prospered, and I carried them, and Akkad. In my refuge they flourished. In peace I have ruled over them. In my wisdom I have caused them to be sheltered. And the strong, the weak, for not to harm, the orphan and the widow, not for to direct aright. In Babylon, the city of Anum and Enlil, its head I raised up. In Esagila, the house, who is as heaven and earth, its foundations are established. We worked our way up to that, and now we're beginning at line 71. The law of the land, he says, for the setting right the decisions of the land, and for cutting for the wrong, and for causing of justice. My precious words on my stela I wrote. So we're looking at those lines beginning at line 70. Di'in matim would be the law of the land. Din from dinum, meaning law, and matim is a genitive singular from matu. So the law of the land, ana dianim, for setting right. Ana dianim actually is an infinitive, and it means to administer. Dianim is the G infinitive in the genitive from dianum, to minister. So the law of the land for ministering or setting right, purusei, puruse, the decisions matim of the land. And here, puruse is from if we're looking at parasim, is an infinitive for the decisions of the land. Notice the text here, parasim is the G infinitive with ana in the genitive. And we come to that in line 72. So the decisions of the land, puruse, matim, here we have the two nouns in construct again. Ana parasim, or ana parasim. Ana parasim is a G infinitive again, with ana in the genitive for the cutting or a decree, and it's from parasu, to cut or make a decree. And then hablim shuteshurim, for the wrong, for the causing of justice. And notice here, shudeshurim is the shin t infinitive with the genitive from asheru, to make straight, or to be straight, for making straight, or we could say for the causing of justice, for the wrongs. he wants to correct, to make straight. And then we continue in the next few words, awatiya shukuratim. My words, my very valuable words, or my precious words. And notice awatu means word, and ya means my, pronominal suffix, first person singular. So, my precious words, ina nariya ashturma. Ina nariya would be on my stela, ashturma I wrote. And ashturma is a G preterite, first common singular from shataru, to write. It's followed by the conjunction ma. So on my stela I wrote. G preterite, first common singular, from the root shataru, to write. And then ina mahar alamya. Alamya would be Sumerian, and putting it into Akkadian would be ina mahar, in the presence. Ina meaning in, mahar, the presence of my image. Salmiya. Notice salmiya is the genitive of salmu, which means image. It appears here with ya, which is your pronominal suffix, first common singular. So, in the presence of my image, from salmu. Alam is the Sumerian, and ya is the first person personal pronoun. And we put it into Akkadian as salmiya. The shar misharim, the king of justice, ukin. As king of justice, probably, I establish. Shar misharim. Sharum is the noun for king. It's in construct here with misharim, which means justice. And notice here it's the genitive of misharu, meaning justice. So Hammurabi claims to be the king of justice. It's interesting to me, as a Christian minister, looking back at Isaiah 11:4, the Messiah, which I believe to be Jesus Christ, will establish Mishor, which is justice, for the meek of the earth. Sort of an interesting kind of an application that I'm making here. And so then we have Ukin, I established. Ukin here means to establish. King of justice, I established. Lugal Shah in Shari, that is the king who among kings. Sharum again is king. By the way, Ukin is a D stem from Kanu, I established, first person singular. Sharum Shah in Shari. Sharum is the translation in Akkadian of Lugal. Lugal means king. Sort of like big man, Lugal. So the king is the Akkadian is Sharum, the king who is among kings, Shah in Shari. So in other words, he's claiming he's the king among kings. And Lugal is normalized in Akkadian as Sharum. In Revelation 19, Jesus will return at his second advent, I believe, as the real Melech Melechim, as the real King of Kings in Hebrew, or the Basileos in Greek, King of Kings. And then as we move on, Shuturu Anaku. In other words, the king who among kings is great. Shuturu Anaku. In other words, I am great as king among kings. Shuturu is a sheen stative from wataru, to be great. Hammurabi, notice that sheen prefix here. Hammurabi claims to be excellent or great. Note the boasting here of Hammurabi and compare again in the Hebrew Bible with Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel 4, who before God is made a beast of the field for a time. Or Isaiah's word in Isaiah 40:24, which suggests that lofty rulers are nothing more than chaff. And then line 83, my choice words, awatuya nashka. Awatuya means my words, from awatu, and nashka is the gestative from nasakum. So third feminine plural, by the way. So my choice words, he is saying, my luti shananam, my ability a rival has not. In other words, no one can rival my ability, he's saying. And notice here, ul ishu has not in line 83. We have here, excuse me. Excuse me, please. We have here issue, which basically is the G preterite, third masculine singular from issue, to have. Hammurabi claims to have no rival in his ability. Again, note throughout the folly, I believe, of human boasting. And this just goes on through history, through time. And Hammurabi is illustrating that to us. I'm going to stop there, and then we'll just continue to try to do these short videos.